Let's bring in Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch to break this down further. She is an attorney, an immigration attorney based in Texas. Kate, good morning. Thank you so much for being with us. So Governor Abbott's border initiative, what he calls Operation Lone Star, it has faced legal challenges since it launched back in 2021. But the latest legal challenge feels a bit different, particularly because allegations of inhumane treatment have now come from a Texas DPS officer involved in its implementation. Explain to us how today's legal challenges might be a bit different than some of the ones we've seen in the past, say back when the Department of Justice investigated alleged civil rights violations in July of 2022.
Sure. It's pretty rare to see the DOJ step in the way that they are right now. We've seen Greg Abbott do things like busing migrants to other states and launching Operation Lone Star, which, as the previous guest said, has been a drop in the bucket at most in terms of border enforcement, and yet has spent over $10 billion of Texan taxpayer money. But the DOJ stepping in and loudly announcing that they intend to sue the state of Texas is a departure from the norm. And I think that is a response to how egregious these violations are on all levels, on the legal level, because it's not within the state jurisdiction to enforce, on the humanitarian level, because these are drowning devices, and on the environmental level. This will have a massive impact on the environment, and that's why Mexico is stepping in as well. This is just a step further than we've seen, and it is really egregious.
You mentioned Mexican officials stepping in. They are pushing back against this buoy border, if you will. How much can they be involved here? I mean, in terms of the water area, Julia Ainsley was reporting how the goal of these buoys is to keep migrants from ever stepping foot on U.S. land. Who controls that water area?
Well, both countries do, and there are international treaties laying out how that will function. And of course, when there is an international treaty between two nations, it is the governments of those nations that will decide what occurs, not one single state within one of those nations. And that is why the government of Mexico, the Secretary of Foreign Relations, has said, wait a minute, this violates our international treaties, and it's going to cause flooding, or not going to cause flooding. When there is flooding, it will cause issues for the government of Mexico. So we're seeing both governments, the U.S. and the Mexican government, step in and say to Abbott, you've stepped beyond a line. Unfortunately, what we're seeing is that Abbott is responding by saying, okay, we'll take it to court. And at the end of the day, there's one person who is benefiting from all of this attention, and it is Greg Abbott himself.
All right, Kate Lincoln-Goldfinch, thank you so much. We appreciate it.